Hi, welcome. Thank you for taking the time out to talk with me. Could you introduce yourself to everyone?
My name is Kim Rosa.
Thank you. And could you tell me, do you live in Bergen County, work in Bergen County?
I do. I live and work in Bergen County.
Awesome. So, how does the LGBT population relate to you?
I have friends that that are gay and lesbian, um, and I've worked with people that were gay and lesbian also.
So, you would call yourself an ally?
Yes.
Okay, good. And the heart of this conversation, what I want to ask you is, what are your thoughts on the fact that we don't have an LGBT center in Bergen County?
I think that's absolutely insane. Everybody, child, teenager, adult, needs to have a place that they can go to feel comfortable, to feel safe, where they're accepted, and just a place that they can go to for help or just build a community.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you. And do you see a need in the community currently? Do you see a need in your world without incriminating with what you do or whatever? Just do you see like there is a need there, and could you speak to that a bit or
Absolutely. I definitely think that there is a need. There are very limited resources in the area that relate to LGBTQI people. Um, and just in my experience, I've had people that I've worked with that were questioning and they had no outlet. People had, you know, gotten in various arguments with their families and with their partners, and they felt like they didn't have anybody to turn to, any place to turn to. And a resource center would just be, it would be very helpful to have an outlet for anybody to go to.
yeah? And how about like professionally, would you find it helpful? You're a service provider, correct? So in that capacity, do you think it would be helpful to have a center and be like, hey, we don't do that, but they do. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
awesome. So it's very short and sweet. I just want to make sure that you give you a little space to ask any questions of me, or if you have anything else you want to add to this conversation.
Um, what kind of resources are you looking to help families with?
Okay, so that's a good question. So for this purpose, I'm raising awareness to the community. But if I had a wish list of what would be needed here, um, the first and the most basic is to have some place where people can either Google or walk to or go to, that they can get connected to resources within the community. And that can be anyone, say, hey, do you have I'm a young lesbian woman and I want to go to a gynecologist that's not going to constantly harass me about birth control. You know what I mean? Or I'm, an older couple and we've been married for 20 years, but we never actually got married legally because we're same sex and we don't see the point, but we own property together. How do I file my taxes together? So just having basic information for people so they can connect with those resources is the first thing. The second thing is to have an actual space somewhere where people don't have to feel uncomfortable, and it's like it's accepted. No one's going to harass you or question or stare at you or treat you differently. You know, that's hugely important, and people brush that off, but people have those spaces. LGBT people are born into generally, not everyone are born into straight families, and often it's not the best scenario for them. So to have just a space where you can go and not have just to catch a breath or whatever,
Yeah.
that to me is the most important, because I've had clients I've lost in the past, and I attribute it to that, not having a space to go to. Then groups. connecting agencies that do good work to, connect that all together. For youth, a lot of homeless youth, to have a place where they can come for regular meals, no question asked. If they had a shower available for them and to do laundry, if you're living rough, you can have that access. To have harm reduction classes, to have, help with lots of therapists, actually therapists that are LGBT and understand the complexities of that. I can go on and on and on and on, but any one of those things would be amazing. Just one, any one of them, just pick
And
one.
wow, I mean, you have some amazing ideas.
Yeah,
Really do. I hope I hope this can come to fruition.
I, this is just like my life that I'm dedicating to helping that come about. It's not about me, but helping that. I'm secure.
Yeah.
But I come from that background. I've lived through those experiences. So I want to make sure that happens. But I really want to first say thank you for you having the courage and to doing something like this. Um, for any kind of change, we need allies. And it's hugely important for having allies like yourself taking out the time and saying what you said and seeing the need, right? So thank you.
And thank you for having me.
And then I just want to make sure you know that this is being recorded and will be made public at some point. Do you give consent to this?
Yes.
And at any given time, you can reach me, and we'll take it down within reasonable amount of time.
Okay.
And you feel comfortable with everything that we spoke about? And
Yes.
okay, good. All right, so I'm going to end the recording.
Okay.